How you doing? Crippled Survival and Hunting, or Hunting and Survival. Gonna do a quick video, like everybody else in the whole world seems to be doing this time of the year, about a deer lick, salt lick. And I remember as a kid on my uncle's farm, we always had salt licks in the ground, and the cows went crazy for them, and the deer went just as crazy for them. So I'm gonna try something I've seen on the internet a couple of times. I'm lucky here. I live in an area where I have cornfields across the street from me. In my backyard I have about 1.5 acres of land, and we have deer that live back there. So I'm going to do this video, maybe several of them. I'm going to show making it, then progressing how it progresses, cutting it out, and then putting it out in the back where the deer are going to be. So hopefully this works. It's going to call for 2 things of salt. Everyone says 3, but I don't think 3 is going to fit in here. I might not even get 2 of them in here. I'm going to put a little sugar. No one puts sugar in it. I like to put a little sugar because as much as this is maple syrup is sweet, they still like to have a little bit of sweet. So I'm going to pour the salt in. This is the cheapest salt I could find. I am my intrepid camera woman. We found it yesterday at the supermarket while shopping. It's like 79 cents a piece, possibly. This was on sale. This is my favorite maple syrup, even though it's not really maple syrup. I have real maple syrup, but I'm not about to use that on a deer lick. As much as I like deer and hope to get some this year, I don't expect to use a $30 bottle of real maple syrup. Alright, that's good enough for one. I'll just do the second one real quick. And I'll put a little bit of sugar in that no one seems to do. I like the idea of sugar in it. If I were a big fat deer, all I'm missing is the antlers, but if I was a big deer looking for something sweet and salty to chew on, this would be it. So allegedly what happens is once you mix this all, you pour in 8 ounces of maple syrup, which I'm going to guess is right about under her hands. And then you just let it sit, and it will eventually make its way down the whole entire thing of salt and sugar, and then it'll basically crystallize the salt and sugar, and then you just come by with a X-Acto knife or machete, whatever you want to use, and you cut it off and you put it out there. I'll be doing a video. I'll put it out by my shed in the back, and then I'll take videos at nighttime, or I'll put it closer to my bedroom so when I hear them at nighttime I think that it's someone trying to break into the house. I'm only going to put a little bit of sugar in, less than a cup probably. So this is just regular cane sugar from the supermarket you get that always has that knot of sugar in it, so it helps it to not come out. Anyhow, so that's about, I don't know, maybe a cup. Now I'm going to take this, close it up, give it a good shake to get the salt and sugar all mixed together. I guess people are finally figuring out what we figured out, that people like salt and sugar together in their food. Caramel, salted caramel and what have you, and stuff like that. I don't think I particularly care for this much salt, but the deer seem to enjoy it. And who am I to tell a deer not to have fun with their salt block? So, I guess that's enough. And if I can work my hands enough, this is where my problems come in with a little bit of the crippling. Okay, I'm going to try to get it in without spilling it. Oh, look at that. There goes Mrs. B. And I could probably put more than 8 ounces in, I'm sure, if I really wanted to. And whatever I have left over, I'll keep for the house. And I'm spilling. And I got just about under our arms. Let me just wipe that off real fast with something. I got that. And I'm gonna put a little bit more. And pretty much the video will be over at that point. I know you'll miss me, because I already miss you. All two of my patrons. The subscribers, I should say. Now I think Mrs. B has given up all she's going to give up for right now. Now we have the sugar on top. You don't touch it. I don't even know if I should put the cap on, but my garage is full of spiders and creatures at this point, even though it's 40 degrees in there. I don't think it's worth it to take a chance in leaving the cap off. I'll probably leave the cap like that. So the garage is about 40 odd degrees at this point, and this is as easy as it gets. A little bit more salt in there. I'll throw it through the. There you go, and I'm done. If you'll follow me out to the garage. Well, actually, these should probably be recycled, so I'll recycle them. And once we're out there, we'll. Some meat recyclers will be back in 1 sec. Okay, here I come. Like a dynamo. As you can see by the way I move, I'm in great shape. I'll do a video someday soon on what's happened to me, why I am called the crippled hunting and survivalist. So let's bring this baby outside. And I'll put it in a spot where it's easily seen every day. You can't tell, but it's probably, as my thermometer says, 48 degrees in here. So this should run down after about a week, and if it doesn't, then I'll flip it over, cut it, and pour cement on that side so we get a full block of the maple syrup through the salt and sugar. And then I'm going to put it out there, and maybe I'll buy a little trail cam and sorry about that. I'll get a little trail cam and put that up, and I'll put that video up. So that's as easy as it is to make a deer lick, from what I understand. If it doesn't work for the deer, I'll go down the road and I'll bring it to where the cows are and see if they like it. And then if they like it, maybe the owner will let me shoot one of his cows. That's a joke. I want to have permission, I just stake them. That's a joke as well. All right, well, thank you. See you in a couple days, hopefully with the finished product. It should be about 6 or 7 days. And then the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to try to make some goo with the Karo syrup and other stuff, and it'll be more of like a deer block. I'm going to try to make a salt block. So have a good one, enjoy good hunting. I'll be up there next week trying to get my keep, and if this works, I'll be shocked, because it's just maple syrup and sugar and salt, and I never heard anybody say that they saw deer eating maple syrup. But who knows? Good hunting.